Right, my friends, it's game over, finished, game over, done. Porsche are shutting down my car remotely forever, and now I can't even sell it. I'll let you know a little bit more, but before we do that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, click the little bell for notifications of when I upload new videos. Now, without further ado, my friends, let's go. Right, so I got an email off of Porsche. Come on, can I get that out? I think I need to unlock my car. There we go. I got an email off of Porsche the other day, and basically all the systems in my car are going to be shut off remotely unless I pay a ransom. Now, how do I feel about that? What do you reckon? Let's wind this back up. So basically, all the systems on my car, which is like the charging planner, etc., which tells me the way to go and where the charges are, etc., and where the charge points are, etc., amongst many other things in my car, are going to be shut down. I'm not going to be able to use them unless I pay a ransom. I'm being held to ransom. What year are we in? Oh, and by the way, got something else to tell you that's really interesting. Come on, I need to get moving. Come on. I mean, what happened to just buying a car like years ago and it'd just work? You'd have heated seats, it'd work, or whatever, and you'd have a sunroof, it'd work, heaters would work, etc. Everything in the car would just work forever. And if it didn't, you'd get yourself a Haynes manual, fix it yourself, and Bob's your uncle. But you wouldn't have the manufacturer telling you basically they're going to shut your car down remotely. I mean, if you imagine that happened in the 1980s or whatever, you'd think they were having a laugh, wouldn't you? And by the way, price of this car, which I did before, I've done about a couple of times, done a little updated version of it, which I'm going to let you know. And one of the videos that I did got 1 million views, just over 1 million views, and it's widely known how much I've actually lost on this car. In fact, Chris Harris the other day on Joe Rogan actually mentioned me indirectly that this car's worth 30 grand and I paid 120 grand. So Chris, if you're watching, fantastic. I liked him on Top Gear. I thought he was very informative and an excellent driver. Right, let's get the move on and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. And also what this car's worth now, because one of them have said they won't even buy it. It's worthless. Come on, let's get a move on. There's a saying. Now tell me who actually said this. You will own nothing and be happy. And that's exactly where we're heading. Right, so years ago, right, I was a graphic designer. I mean, I still am a graphic designer. And I used to have an application called Freehand and then Adobe Photoshop, which you will have no doubt heard of, and Adobe Illustrator. And we bought it. It was, I don't know, 300 quid or whatever, 400 quid. And that was it. You bought it, it was yours, it was on your computer, it came on a CD. And then, many moons later, they started with subscription basis. So you subscribe to Photoshop. So you pay a monthly fee or a yearly fee, which is cheaper, but a monthly fee is going to get bright in a minute. There we go. Right, give me 1 minute. It's too bright. I don't like that. That's better. So you pay a monthly fee basically, or a yearly fee, and it's cheaper obviously if you pay for the year, because then they get interest on your money, etc. But wasn't it just better when you got a CD? I'm going to go into Tesco and get some pull-out chairs. Another story. So it was just a lot cheaper when you just got the CD and it was yours? Where did everything start to become subscription basis? And especially in a car. What's all that about? Anyway, I'm gonna let me get outside. And first of all, before I explain basically the letter from Porsche, I want to go through the prices again. So what I want you to do is, I want you to compare these new prices, which are now we're in September 2024, back to the prices that I had for the car from We Buy Any Car, Car Wow, and some other ones or whatever. Anyway, through which I'm going to give you through the last one. I'll put the link in the description down below, up here and at the end, and compare them to now and see how much money it's actually lost in them months. But one of them won't even buy the car now. Right, okay, so let me go through these prices with you that I've got from We Buy Any Car and Car Wow, etc. So basically now I got my car valued again today, and the date that I'm filming this is Friday the 6th of September 2024. So don't forget, compare these prices with the prices that I got the other month on the video that went viral. So I'll put that, as I say, link down below at the end and also up here somewhere. So compare them and see how much it's actually lost. Electric cars, I mean, the Taycan loses money faster than the actual car goes, and it's quick. Right, so we've got We Buy Any Car. It's now worth £33,210 from We Buy Any Car. And then I got a quote again off Motorway, which was £33,124 from Motorway. And then Car Wow, I like Car Wow's YouTube channel, £33,840. Bearing in mind I paid £120,000 for this car, coming up to 3 years. In about 3-4 weeks time it'll be 3 years old. So it's lost, was it £90,000, which is in massive negative equity. But I mean, I have made money from the videos that I've made about the car, but it still hasn't made up for what I've lost. Car Wow is £33,840. Now what's interesting is Flip It, who were really ridiculously, they gave me a ridiculous price last time, have now said your car is special. You can say that again, it's very special. Unfortunately, your vehicle falls outside of our buying criteria. However, our trusted partners at Exchange My Car would love to give you an offer on your vehicle. Please click the button below. So I did, and I got some quotes on this one. And that came to the car buying group, £30,337, and the car buying crew, £25,710. So Chris Harris, if you're watching this one, what do you think to that? Outrageous, isn't it? Do you want to offer me a good deal on it, Chris, if you're watching? I mean, I know you watched the other one, so help me out. Right, when I get into Tesco, I've got to get these fold-out chairs for Sarah. And then I want to read you the letter from Porsche, how they're holding me ransom because they're just going to shut this car down. Game over. It's finished. Don't buy an electric car, whatever you do, because you will regret it. Anyway, I'll see you in a minute. I need to go. I might get myself an ice cream as well. Something to cheer me up. In fact, pretty soon the ice cream will be worth more than the car. I don't know what it is. I normally keep bags in the boot of my car, but they're not there because I went shopping, took them in to Sarah's, and I've left them at Sarah's. So I've ended up having to buy another bag. Reusable bag for life. But then, you know what, I must have about 1 million of them somewhere. I don't know where they go. What happened to the time when we got free plastic bags? Anyway, I got my fold-out chairs. I'll meet you back in the car, and then we'll head off up. I need to charge you up. There's a guy up there, been sat in his Renault Zoe, charging up since I went in. I've been in there about 15-20 minutes. Still sat there charging, just sat in his car, and it's a slow charger. He'll be there all night. Mind you, I mean, does he need to charge up? I suppose every little helps. Get it? Test. Never mind, I'll see you in the car. Oh, Right, okay, got to head up to Leeds now. I'm in Mansfield. I've got 70% of battery, 181 miles of range. I've been putting it on slow charge over at my ex-wife's house where my charger is. I was going to move that charger to my house, but it's pointless. I might as well just get a new charger. But anyway, I've been back to see my elder kids, charged it up there, used their electricity. Don't worry before the keyboard warriors start. I'll pay her for the electricity, all 3 pence of it or whatever it is. Anyway, let's get back on the road. Cheaper on Octopus Energy apparently, isn't it? But do you know what? I'm absolutely fed up of charging up now at the moment. I've charged up twice today. I charged up this morning up in the Lake District, then I drove down to Mansfield, and then now I'm driving up to Leeds. It's all charging all the time. Anyway, I'm going to charge up again on the way up to Leeds, and then I'm going to read you this letter from Porsche that it's basically holding me to ransom. And I know it doesn't just apply to electric cars. A lot of petrol cars have this as well now, but it's absolutely ridiculous. It more so with an electric car, because what it's doing now is, unless I pay them again now after 3 years, I'm not going to know where all the charging points are. So I've got to really pay them, otherwise I'm not going to know where all the charging points are and what is live charging points and if anybody's on them. So it'll be a complete nightmare unless I pay them. So basically everything in this car, loads of stuff, is getting shut down unless I pay them. I say a ransom, basically. They call it a membership. Onwards. Sorry, it's not a membership, it's a subscription. You subscribe to it, because everything's a subscription these days, isn't it? You have to pay a subscription, unless you subscribe to this channel, by the way, which is free. That's the YouTube subscription is completely different. Now we've got a guy next to us in an Audi. Can you hear this? He's basically got his music playing with both windows, no, 4 windows down, so everybody else can hear his music. That is the definition of a cockwomble. Onwards, my friends. I mean, he's got a turbo diesel Audi. He probably thinks the same about me, although I'm not playing any music. In fact, it's totally silent. It's like listening to a Bosch washing machine. Soulless. Right, we were talking about subscription. So basically you subscribe to a lot of the extras on this car, like comfort entry, which I had when I first bought this car. If you remember, if you've been watching the videos, it was on this car when I first bought it. But then when I went in for the software upgrade, they removed it because they said, oh, it shouldn't have been on the car in the first place. But if you want it back, you can pay £1,700 to have it back. So I never had it back. However, Porsche did owe me, I think it was about £400 or £500 refund, because they didn't fit the electronic steering on here, the electronic steering rack, and they didn't get the parts, because when this car was put together we had the pandemic and a lot of the parts weren't available, etc. So that's right. So they sent me a letter and said, oh, you can have £400 odd back because we can't fit it for you now. I'm just going to put that up. And they never sent me the money. I never got the money off of them, so they kept that, Porsche did. and never gave me my comfort opening. So there we go. There's a lot of things that you can subscribe to on this car. One of them is the comfort entry. There's another one that you can get which is dynamic steering, etc., adaptive steering and all different things, and you pay a subscription, a yearly subscription for it. And when you buy the car, which I bought, like I say, 3 years ago, is that better? 3 years ago, they give you 3 years for free. So they also give you discounted charging as well for 3 years. So I got discounted charging with my Porsche charging card, so it made it cheap for me to drive around and charge. That ends in 3 weeks time when this car becomes 3 years old, and then I can still use my Porsche charging card, but I won't get discounted charging. I'll be charged at full price. Also as well, the government are bringing in, it's not road tax, I don't know what it's called now, whatever, but anyway, there was no road tax on electric cars, and I think from later on this year or next year, is it, you've then got to pay a road tax for electric cars. I've just had mine come through, by the way, for 12 months, and it's still zero, so I don't pay anything for the next 12 months for this car. So no road tax, nothing, whatever it's called now. So is that fair if you've got petrol or diesel? Do you believe that's fair? I'm driving around on the same roads as you for free. You're paying your road tax, but all electric car drivers at the moment are driving around for free, dangling a carrot. By next year though, when I've got to pay, hopefully I'll be able to have a 911, but at the moment I can't afford to get rid of it because the car's worth less than I actually owe on it. I can afford it, but I've got other things to spend money on. And I'm not going to spend money on a car. I'm not going to hand it back and give them 40 or 50,000 pound or whatever it is now. I'm not going to do it. I'll keep the car, keep financing it for a bit, and just eat into it. So there we go. Anyway, I'll go through basically what they are going to remove from this car unless I pay them. I say ransom, they say subscription, and I'll let you know what it is. But one of them is the Porsche charging planning, which really you can't do without. You need to know where the chargers are, and you need to know who's on them. Otherwise, it's a bit of a nightmare. So they've got you by the short and curlies, haven't they, eh? Unless you've manscaped. Onwards. Name some other things that have become subscription based that used to be that we owned. For instance, I'll start with a couple. So videos, etc. You used to be able to buy videos and DVDs, etc. Now it's streaming, and it's the same with music. You'd buy your music, you'd buy a record, you'd buy a compact disc, or you'd buy a cassette if you're my age, and you'd own them. They'd be yours to keep on a shelf. Now you pay for a subscription, you stream your music. That's the way of the world. Everything is subscription based. How many more subscriptions do we have to pay? Netflix, Sky, Virgin, whatever. Then you've got your Apple Music or your Spotify or whatever it is. Then you've got your car subscriptions, and then you've got your coffee subscriptions. It's all basic. We own nothing, basically. We own nothing. It's all borrowed. It should be go back to the old days where we actually own it. You buy a car and it's your car. Everything on the car is yours. They don't go. Can you imagine years ago you sat there in your Ford Capri and Ford come along and they just rip the heater out of it and go, oh, well, you go, what are you doing with that? Well, we need another £200 a year and we'll put it back for you. Pardon? But I've bought the car. Oh yeah, but you got to pay extra for the heater. Oh right, okay. You'd have something to say, wouldn't you? I don't know, it's crackers. Anyway, it's getting dark now. I'm going to try and nights are drawing in, the nights are drawing in, you know, so we're Oh dear, what's going on here? Accident. I'm going to pull into the services because, as I say, I need to charge. I also need a wee, and I'll read you this email from Porsche and tell you what they're going to take off of my car unless I pay. But can I just say, if Porsche are watching, by the way, you still owe me for my electronic steering column that you didn't pay me back. I bet if I said to you and just emailed them, we'll just take the you know, take that as payment you owe me. Oh no, they won't do that, will they? I'll still have to pay for the subscription. I'll never see that steering column money, I can tell you that now. Never. I think I'm going to be a bit late, and these brake lights are making my face look like a beetroot. Right, well, as soon as I get to the services, I will read this email to you, but I'm stuck here in traffic. It looks like there's a major accident. So, oh, there we go. Sarah, her indoors. Where are you? ETA? I don't know. Probably gonna be a bit of about another, I reckon about another hour yet. Stuck in traffic. M1. Right, I would say onwards, but we're not going to go. Not going onwards. It's not going anywhere. Stand still. Right, I'm just gonna have to go to the little boy's room, but before that, let's wind this video up. I'll grab my phone and I'll read you this email that Porsche have sent me, basically wanting money off of me, otherwise they're going to switch a load of stuff off in my car. By the way, all them charges there and not one of them being used. Unusual. Right, I'll see you outside where there's a bit more light. Right, okay, so got an email from Porsche and it says renew your Porsche Connect for your sports car now. And basically it says and continue to use your digital co-pilot. I've also got to renew my charging card as well, I believe, and also my security, so that they track my tracker. I've got to renew that as well, so they're separate subscriptions as well, so got to renew them as well. It says these smart services from Porsche Connect make your everyday life easier and make the time in your vehicle even more convenient through real-time traffic information, for example. So basically, unless I renew, I will lose. If I click on renew now, I'm going to lose here. It's just loading. 3 years for free that I've had, and then I will lose Navigation Plus, which that's so I can avoid traffic jams with real-time traffic information and map updates. All them will go unless I resubscribe. Charging Planner, this is what I need because I've been using this and I used it on the way to Spain. So the Charging Planner I need. It says the Charging Planner optimizes travel time by calculating the route, taking into account the current state of charge, the available charging stations and any traffic data, and I need that. Also, Risk Radar will warn you at an early stage in case of hazards such as accident black spots and accidents and black ice, etc. Voice Pilot, which is Hey Porsche, a voice command, so that will go as well. And also the Finder, choosing charging, petrol stations, hotels and restaurants en route, all that will go as well. Also Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, calendar, news, etc., and weather. So all that will go. Remote control for your Porsche as well, so I can actually put the heating on and the and also the air conditioning, etc., and see my charge, etc. All that will go. Make sure that your climate temperature in your car is just right before you step inside. That will go. Car control before your trip. You can conveniently check the tire pressure. That will go. So I'll lose all that. Car finder as well. Avoid long searches for your car in large car parks. I do actually use that because sometimes I lose it. Location alarm as well, speed alarm, valet alarm, car alarm, horn and indicator. Find your Porsche in car parks thanks to a light signal. Lock and unlock your car remotely as well from your app. All that will go. It's £269 a year, including 20% VAT. But Porsche, you actually owe me more than that, so can we just not knock this off of what you owe me? Highly doubt it. I'm going to have to renew it anyway. So there you go. Subscription based. Just buy yourself an old diesel car or an old petrol car, and then you won't have any of that. Everything will just work. Anyway, that's all from me today. I'm going to go use the little boy's room, and then I'm going to get back to Sarah because it's getting late. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and subscribe. It is free, by the way, won't cost you a penny, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.